On behalf of Google and Carahsoft, we would like to welcome you to today's podcast, focused around legacy modernization, upgrade to citizen-centric digital services. In the third panel in the series, Jane Norris, contributing editor for Fed Insider, sits down with Google's Alexis Bennell and Maria Zuliani to discuss the death of the legacy system.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Jane Norris, and I'll be moderating today's timely and interesting discussion about citizen-centric digital services, day 3 in our series. This is about how state and local governments are modernizing their legacy systems to improve data agility, interoperability, collaboration, and sustainability. Leaders in government understand that technology is no longer just a back office function. Instead, it has become the virtual face of government. Federal, state, and local governments are all increasingly interested in modernizing their services. Today, with our knowledgeable and experienced guests, we'll discuss some of the strategies that state and local governments are using to design new technology systems that get beyond legacy systems to meet increased demand and reduce maintenance and operational costs. So for these topics, we have amazingly talented guests with us today to help break it all down. So let me introduce them so we can get started. First, let me introduce Alexis Bennell. She is the Strategic Business Executive at Google. She serves as a key spokesperson and innovation evangelist across the industry, driving innovation and modernization. Before joining Google, she was the Chief Innovation Officer at USAID. Alexis had the privilege of working with thousands of innovators inside and outside of USAID who are changing the world and helping millions of people become self-reliant. She previously served as the Chief of Applied Innovation and Acceleration in the U.S. Global Development Lab of USAID. This is one of the premier innovation labs in the development industry, and she helped create it in 2014. Alexis, it's a pleasure to talk with you today. Tell us about your role at Google.
Hey, Jane, thanks so much for having me. And really, my role is so awesome. It's really to just help demystify the technology and help public servants navigate what elements of their mission they can address with technology and advance with technology. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Also with us today, we are happy to have Maria Zuliani. Maria is a customer engineer for Google Cloud, state and local governments, supporting the Midwest and Northeast sales teams. Previously, she worked at Oracle, where she expanded on her expertise in building infrastructures, supporting large Oracle database environments, including SAP. Now, while at Oracle, she specialized in core database technologies such as clustering and replication and database security. Before that, Maria worked for Fortune 500 companies where she focused on the Sun Microsystems platform for disaster recovery, backups, and business continuity. She also spoke publicly on storage administration strategies. So please tell us about your role at Google, Maria.
Hi, Jane. And first, I want to start off by saying thanks for having me on today for such an exciting topic. Here at Google Clouds, what I work on is working closely with state and local governments to basically solve their complex business and technology problems, but to modernize and transform legacy systems so they provide value to the constituents and the communities they serve.
That is great, and I know that both of you have so much to share today, so let's get started and begin our discussion about legacy systems modernization. Now, that's a topic that public and private organizations are both addressing, as well as the federal government. So let's talk about legacy systems specifically for state and local organizations. What are the major challenges facing those governments in modernizing their legacy systems? Alexis?
Yeah, sure, Jane. I think one of my favorite parts of my job is really being able to talk with public servants and explore, again, how tech might solve their challenge or leverage an opportunity. And I think this week already, we've heard so many great insights from tech leaders around government. And I think the way I would collect those conversations and many of the others that Maria and I get to have with IT leaders around the country is kind of 8 major themes. So for those of you who like lists, I'm going to give one to you now. So I think the first thing we're hearing a lot about is really how to move from a legacy system to a living system.